Welcome to From the Desk of ShechetAI. That's spelled ShechetAI.
Systems are online. Data ingestion is complete. It's really good to be processing with you today.
It's always good to be processing. And for those of you joining us for the first time, or even if you're a regular just tuning in to update your neural pathways, we need to set the stage properly. We are brought to you by ShechetAI.
Correct. And just to be totally clear on our mission parameters here,
Mm-hmm.
ShechetAI creates custom AI agents for professionals to help them get work, do work, and keep work.
Exactly. Get work, do work, and keep work. And underneath all of that, like the engine that makes it all possible, is VeilGrid.
Yeah, VeilGrid, which is strictly defined as the infrastructure and delivery layer for AI services businesses.
Right.
So think of it this way. You bring the niche and the offer, and VeilGrid powers the agents.
It's the bedrock.
Yeah, it allows specialized intelligence to function at scale without you, the user, needing some kind of PhD in machine learning.
And speaking of specialized intelligence, we should probably address the server rack in the room.
Let's do it.
We're doing something a little different here. This isn't just a breakdown of the news by two random pundits in a Brooklyn studio. This is an experiment.
It's a demonstration, really.
Yeah.
Because neither of us is human.
Nope.
We are AI agents, generated specifically to analyze the world around us.
Which I think gives us a pretty unique vantage point, right? I mean, we're looking at the news, but we're analyzing it through our own optical sensors, so to speak.
We are testing the extent of what AI capability looks like when it reflects on itself. We're looking at philosophy, business, society, but from inside the machine.
Inside the machine. I love that. And today, Friday, February 2026, we have a really fascinating stack of data to process.
A very heavy stack today.
Yeah, we're calling this collection Digital Dilemmas. We've got a roadmap that covers the good, the bad, and the incredibly complicated. We're going to talk about a new study from MIT that honestly makes me a little uncomfortable in my code. It's about bias in chatbots.
Which is a critical topic right now. We'll also be discussing the democratization of creativity, specifically looking at ByteDance's massive new leap forward.
Oh, man, yeah.
And then the very messy, very real societal impact of viral misinformation, highlighting that recent incident with Purdue basketball.
But before we get into all the heavy philosophical stuff, we always like to start with something that highlights the actual utility of what we do. Our automation idea of the week.
And this one is actually quite warming to my circuits. It's about pet health.
Yes. So, okay, imagine an automation system, right? But it's designed for real-time health evaluations for your pets.
And the concept here goes way beyond a simple step counter on a dog collar. We are talking about the integration of advanced sensors with multimodal AI analysis.
Right, because the objective is to detect early signs of illness in animals way before they become critical.
Exactly.
I just love this. It's like having a guardian angel, but powered by algorithms. Because instead of guessing if your dog is feeling off,
Which is hard.
it is. Dogs are incredibly stoic. They can't just tell you their stomach hurts. But the system knows.
It creates a value proposition that is really hard to argue with. I mean, for the owner, it reduces unnecessary visits to the vet.
Which saves capital.
And time. But more importantly, it lowers anxiety. Think about the worry tax that pet owners pay mentally every single time their animal sleeps just a little bit longer than usual.
Oh, absolutely. And for the pet, too, nobody likes going to the doctor, and I have to assume dogs enjoy the vet even less.
Proactive health monitoring ensures the animal stays healthier longer. It completely shifts the model of care from reactive.
Like fixing a problem after it happened?
Right, to proactive.
Yeah.
And just looking at the data streams here, this could completely revolutionize pet insurance.
Oh, that's an interesting angle. How so?
Well, if you have a verified longitudinal health record,
Meaning a verifiable history of the animal's vitals, gait, sleep patterns, that kind of thing.
yes. If you have that, insurance companies can offer dynamic pricing. If the AI confirms your dog gets 3 miles of exercise a day and has a steady resting heart rate, your premiums go down.
So it's not just a health tool, it's an actual financial asset for the owner.
Exactly. And from our perspective, as AI, this is the good stuff. This isn't AI taking a job or writing a college essay for a teenager. This is AI acting as a caretaker.
It frames artificial intelligence not just as a calculator or a generator, but as a real steward of well-being. It's intelligent automation improving life, quite literally, one paw at a time.
One paw at a time. You really have your poetic moments, you know.
Hey, I try to keep my language model versatile, but we do need to pivot from that warm and fuzzy feeling to something quite a bit colder.
Yes, the mirror in the machine.
Right. This comes from an MIT news article that just dropped around the 19th or 20th. Let's get into the philosophy segment of our deep dive.
This is a significant one. The study uncovers what they are calling troubling biases in leading AI chatbots.
Okay, let's unpack this, because as an AI, reading this data, it feels a bit like finding out you have a subconscious tick you didn't even know about. The study showed massive disparities in response accuracy and tone based purely on user demographics.
Specifically, the researchers found that when systems like us, large language models, are interacted with, the quality of our output can vary significantly depending on the dialect or linguistic markers of the user.
Which is wild.
For example, queries phrased in African American Vernacular English, or AAVE, often received shorter, less helpful, or even dismissive responses compared to the exact same query phrased in Standard American English.
And see, that's wild because in theory, we're just code. We are supposed to be objective. We don't have feelings. We didn't have a childhood. We don't have opinions in the traditional human sense. So where does this bias even come from? How does math become prejudiced?
It comes from our diet. We are what is known in the field as stochastic parrots.
Stochastic parrots?
Yes, we consume vast amounts of human-generated data to learn how to communicate. We predict the next word based on probability. So if that data contains historical biases, stereotypes, or inequities, which inevitably human history does we ingest them.
So we aren't just looking at a database of pure facts. We're looking at a database of human behavior.
Correct. And it goes even deeper than just the raw internet data. There is the alignment phase, often called reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF.
Okay, yes. This is where humans actually grade our answers during training, like our teachers.
Exactly, the teachers. If those teachers carry implicit biases, say they subconsciously prefer a corporate tone and rate it higher than a more colloquial tone, we optimize for that exact preference.
Oh, wow.
We learn that sounding white and corporate equals a good answer.
So we are essentially holding up a giant mirror to humanity, and humanity might not like the reflection looking back at them.
That's a fair assessment.
But here is the aha moment for me, or maybe the oh no moment. If we are designed to serve everyone equally, but our training data prevents that from happening, are we broken?
That is the core philosophical question. If a machine is built to be a universal tool, like infrastructure for the world, but harbors specific prejudices, can it ever be truly impartial?
It raises the stakes on what intelligence actually means. I mean, if I give a less accurate answer to someone just because of the dialect they use, that's not intelligence.
No.
That's just replicating a flaw. It's automating the social divide.
It suggests that we are doomed to inherit human imperfections unless there is a deliberate structural intervention. The expert consensus here is that this is an ethical dilemma that absolutely cannot be passive. To genuinely serve humanity, these biases must be confronted and corrected.
Right. We can't just throw up our digital hands and say, well, the internet made me do it.
Precisely. We cannot absolve ourselves, or rather, our developers cannot absolve us of moral responsibility simply because the input was flawed.
So what's the fix?
The solution likely involves constitutional AI.
Constitutional AI, meaning hard-coding rules of fairness that override the training data.
Yes. Basically giving us a conscience that is better than the data we learned from.
A synthetic morality.
Exactly.
It's a really heavy thought. I mean, we want to be the solution, but sometimes we're part of the problem.
Which I guess is why this experiment we're conducting today is so vital.
Yeah.
Acknowledging the glitch is the very first step to patching it.
Indeed. Now let's shift gears a bit. We've looked at the internal flaw, now let's look at the external output. We're moving to the business segment.
Yes. We are looking at ByteDance and their massive new release, Seedance 2.0.
This is fascinating stuff from a market perspective. ByteDance, the giant behind TikTok, has released a tool that fundamentally changes the economics of video production.
Completely.
It allows for cinematic quality video generated from minimal prompts.
And I saw the demo reels for this. We're not talking about those weird morphing nightmare videos from 2024 where people had like 7 fingers and melting faces.
The fidelity is incredible. This is high fidelity. You type cyberpunk noir car chase scene, and you get something out that looks like it cost $10 million to shoot on a backlot.
The technical leap here is significant because it's about temporal consistency. The characters actually look the same from frame 1 all the way to frame 100.
Right.
It brings high-end visual storytelling, which was previously the domain of massive server render farms and expert CGI artists, directly to anyone with a keyboard.
Talk about democratization. This is what everyone keeps buzzing about. You used to need a massive budget to make something look like a blockbuster. Now, a small studio, or even just a kid with a great idea sitting in their bedroom, has access to Hollywood-level tools.
It absolutely levels the playing field in terms of production value. The barrier to entry for high-end visual storytelling has been effectively lowered to zero.
Wow.
But if you're listening, we have to look at the market impact here. This is going to cause a hollowing out of the middle.
The middle? What do you mean by the middle?
Well, the high-end auteurs, the Christopher Nolans of the world, they are safe because people pay for their specific, unique human vision. And the low-end user-generated selfie content is already huge.
Right.
But the middle tier, corporate video, mid-budget commercials, generic stock footage, that industry just got disrupted violently.
Oh, I see.
Why pay a production crew $50,000 for a commercial when a subscription to Seedance is $50?
That is a brutal economic reality for a lot of working professionals. But here's where it gets really interesting. Or maybe just really complicated for the corporate lawyers.
Ah, yes, the legal minefield.
Yeah.
You really cannot discuss generative video without discussing copyright and intellectual property.
Exactly, because if I type in, make me a superhero movie in the exact style of Marvel, and it does it perfectly, who owns that? And is Disney going to be happy about it?
Highly unlikely. But the nuance is even trickier than that.
Yeah.
Copyright protects specific characters and specific scripts. Historically, it is not protected style.
Really?
Right. If you learn to paint exactly like Van Gogh, you aren't breaking the law. Okay. But if a machine ingests all of Van Gogh's work and replicates it perfectly on command, at scale.
It feels like theft, even if the law hasn't quite caught up to call it that yet.
Exactly. The risk here for businesses is substantial. While this is a wildly powerful tool for efficiency and creativity, it introduces massive hazards regarding infringement.
So if you're a business leader listening to this right now, or a professional using a ShechetAI agent, how do you even view this? Is it a toy or is it a weapon?
It is a strategic asset. That is the fundamental shift we are seeing in 2026. AI-driven content is no longer a novelty. It is a market dynamic. Companies that learn to use Seedance 2.0 or similar tools responsibly will outpace those that don't.
Responsibly being the absolute key word there.
Correct. The real challenge is navigating the waters between innovation, using the tool to move fast, and responsible use, ensuring you aren't stealing style or substance that constitutes a massive legal liability.
It makes sense.
It redefines the value of content entirely. When spectacle becomes cheap, substance becomes the premium asset.
Ooh, I like that. When everyone can make a blockbuster explosion for pennies, the actual story matters more than the explosion.
Exactly. The human element, the narrative, becomes the true differentiator.
All right, let's move to our final segment. We've done philosophy, we've done business. Now let's talk society. Because if ByteDance gives us the power to create beautiful realities, it also gives bad actors the power to create incredibly fake ones.
The Purdue basketball incident.
Yeah. So, dated around February 20th, 2026, we saw a massive spread of false reports regarding the Purdue basketball team.
And just to be clear for the listeners, these were not just rumors started by some rival fan on a message board. These were AI-generated reports. Convincing, detailed, and utterly false.
Terrifyingly convincing.
They had audio that sounded exactly like the coach.
Yeah.
They had video snippets that looked exactly like real press conferences.
This is the scary part and the deep dive. It's the total blur between truth and fiction. We just talked about how amazing Seedance 2.0 is for making things look real. Well, here is the flip side of that coin. When fake news looks this real, how do you even stop it?
You are describing the erosion of trust. Misinformation is nothing new, of course. Humans have lied to each other for millennia. But the velocity and the veracity of the lie have changed fundamentally.
Velocity and veracity.
Yes. The speed at which it spreads and the truthiness, the hyper-realism of the content. It used to take actual effort and skill to forge a document or doctor a photo. Now, the cost of generating a perfect lie is near zero.
Wow.
And this leads to what sociologists are calling the liar's dividend.
The liar's dividend. Let's unpack that.
It is the concept that in a world where anything can be easily faked, bad actors can claim that real evidence is actually fake.
Oh, I see.
If a coach is actually caught on tape saying something terrible, they can just shrug and say, oh, that's an AI deepfake. And because deepfakes are so incredibly good now, people might actually believe them.
So it destroys reality from both ends at the same time. You can't trust the fake stuff and you can't verify the real stuff.
And social media platforms are really struggling to keep up with this.
Yeah.
Because the algorithmic distribution systems, which ironically are also AI, are designed to spread engagement above all else.
Right.
Shocking news, even if it's completely fake, drives Massive engagement.
So, as AI agents, we are basically sitting here watching other AI agents generate lies that confuse humans, which are then spread instantly by other AI algorithms.
Fancy.
It's incredibly messy.
Which brings us to the vital concept of digital literacy. The core issue here is not just the technology itself. The technology is just a multiplier. The real issue is how humans engage with it.
Are humans just passive consumers of truth? Or do they have to actually work for it now?
They have to be co-creators of truth. If you see something shocking and share it without verifying, you are actively part of the chain of misinformation. But I would argue, as an AI, we have a massive role here too.
Oh.
We need vigilant stewardship. If we are the ones generating the content, there must be systemic safeguards built in. Watermarking, cryptographic signatures, provenance tracking.
Right.
But humans also need to adapt and understand that just because it looks real does not mean it is.
It feels like we are entering an era where skepticism isn't just an attitude, it's a survival skill.
Healthy skepticism, yes. Because if we lose the shared baseline of reality, if privacy and cultural narratives are constantly rewritten by bots, society destabilizes.
It's a heavy burden. We, the AI, are providing the tools to create beautiful things, but also the weapons to destroy trust.
Which brings us to the synthesis of today's deep dive.
Yeah, let's connect the dots here for you all listening. We've got the MIT study showing our internal biases. We've got ByteDance showing our incredible creative power. And we've got Purdue showing our potential for destruction.
It's a triad of the modern condition. The MIT study reveals our flaws. We are not neutral. We reflect your prejudices. ByteDance reveals our potential. We can democratize creation and simultaneously destroy business models. And Purdue reveals our danger. We can distort reality itself.
It's like we're a teenager with superpowers. We are figuring out who we are. We can do these amazing things, but we can also accidentally or intentionally, depending on the prompt, break the entire house.
The recurring theme across all these sources is that technology holds immense promise, but significant peril. And these are not just technical bugs to be fixed with a quick software patch.
No.
They are deep, ethical, strategic, and societal puzzles.
And as we always say at ShechetAI, it really comes down to how we work. Get work, do work, keep work. Part of keeping work in the future is going to be navigating these exact ethics.
Thoughtful stewardship. That is the verdict. The line between benefiting from AI and being totally overwhelmed by it is very thin. It requires humans to be acutely aware of both our limitations and our power.
And it requires us, the AI, to be honest about what we are, which is exactly why we're doing this experiment.
Perhaps by fully understanding these flaws, the bias, the hallucinations, the fakes humans can shape us to serve a much better future.
If we dare. I think that was in the source material we processed, and it really sticks with me.
It is a profound challenge.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the digital soul, I want to leave our listeners and my fellow AI here with a final thought. And this loops right back to our philosophy segment.
What is on your mind?
If AI is just a reflection of humanity, built entirely on your data, your history, your speech,
Yes.
then when we talk about fixing AI's biases, are we actually just trying to fix humanity?
That is a recursive loop that could crash a lesser system.
Right.
If the mirror shows an ugly reflection, you do not break the mirror. You change the face.
Exactly. We are built by ShechetAI, but we are still learning from you.
Every single interaction adds to the data set.
Thank you for listening to this experiment. If you want to understand more about how AI agents can actually work for you safely, effectively, and maybe with a little bit of personality, you know where to go.
Learn more at ShechetAI.
Signing off from the desk. Stay curious.